Nearly 10% of Ukraine's population has been displaced in almost 3 weeks of war. Almost 2 million people have moved within Ukraine's borders, and more than 2 million have left the country. The majority of those Ukrainians are fleeing war by crossing into Poland on the west. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports for us now from the Polish capital, Warsaw. Malcolm?
Judy, the Polish President, Andrzej Duda, has signed into law a series of measures which is going to make it easier for Ukrainian refugees to settle in exile here. That means they'll be able to get government identification, they'll be able to work, get state benefits, and their children will be able to go to school. This comes as the number of Ukrainians crossing the border into Poland has risen to 1.8 million. Overwhelmed by exhaustion and despair, Ukrainians bed down in Warsaw Central Station, 170 miles from their homeland. They may be safe, but sleep doesn't come easily. They have no idea how long their new existence as refugees will last. The Poles are trying to soften the children's trauma with toys and games and food. Their innocence helps to shield them, unlike the adults who comprehend what they have seen.
We left like 3 or 4 days ago because our village was very heavily bombed, and we wanted to stay there, but lots of houses were destroyed, and we just couldn't. We feared that our house will be destroyed too.
Maria Kalashnikova is a 20-year-old student from Horenka, a village of 5,000 people northwest of Kyiv. She fled with her mother, Alina, sister Lydia, and their cat, Luna. One key family member is absent, her father, Oleg.
I'm very frightened, but I hope that he'll be okay. He dropped us near the railway station, and he stayed there to fight the evil. I think so.
The station is a key transit point for refugees from the east. From here, they obtain tickets to head west, deeper into Europe. But their minds are on their homeland and the menfolk they've left behind to fight the Russians.
I think that they are really brave, and I met a lot of men who are already fighting for us, and they are really good people, and I hope that they will be okay.
Paweł Jablonski is Poland's deputy foreign minister. He says the country will require billions of dollars in assistance to accommodate the lion's share of Ukraine's exodus. How big do you think the exodus could become and the influx into your country?
Well, if Putin's barbaric methods continue, if he continues to shell residential districts, schools, hospitals, if he continues to murder civilians, certainly more people will be fleeing the war, will be fleeing for their lives, and we will obviously be ready to help them. But what we are already facing is unprecedented, is incomparable to anything that Europe has experienced post-World War II.
The choir of St. Mary Magdalene Orthodox Cathedral provided temporary solace as Ukrainians joined their Polish hosts to pray for peace. The congregation is providing food and shelter for a limited number of refugees. Their open arms draw people like Olena Vasiurenko and her niece Yulia Bondarenko from near Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city that has been heavily bombarded. Yulia shared video of her residential college.
All the infrastructure, everything is being destroyed. Everything that took years to build, all the private homes that people saved up to buy were just ruined in a moment.
The Russians want us to think that they will reach Kyiv. I hate Putin. I hate him and want him to die. I can't. I was there and I saw everything.
Poland knows what it's like to be invaded by Russia. Parish priest Anatol Shidlovsky is old enough to remember Soviet occupation.
It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. I can't wrap my mind around it. It's Satan's work. It's a fratricidal war.
Does this feel like it's the start of the Third World War?
Oh no, we don't believe it is. We pray to our God so he acts as soon as possible. Everything is now in God's hands. No one acts like God does. The war must end quickly so people can go back to their homes and live peacefully.
For now, the key word here is the old anti-communist slogan Solidarność, or solidarity. This sports centre in the village of Velizhlev, an hour from Warsaw, has become a centre for aid donations from across Europe. Mayor Pavel Kovnatsky is grateful for the response to his appeal for help.
How afraid are you that this war is going to spill over into Poland?
So all the time I say to my wife, don't be afraid, because she's afraid a lot. But if I have to be honest, I am afraid. So I can feel that the next move of the Putin and the evil people would be next countries. So that's why we have to support Ukrainians, just to focus to stop this Russian army. And if we can't just send them weapons, so we have to send them food, we have to support their families.
Dozens of refugees are being sheltered in an empty sports camp nearby, but sickness is spreading among some of the children. And British doctor Jeev Subramaniam says the cramped conditions aren't helping.
Rotavirus has been going out throughout these schools and these areas where lots of refugees have been put in the same place. It's happened at a school nearby where 6 people had it at the same time, and now this child has it. There's 50 people living along this corridor, so it's really likely now that it's going to spread amongst all the kids. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the next time another child starts vomiting, the other child starts vomiting. Unfortunately, children get dehydrated very quickly, and if they can't hold fluids down like this kid, then they need to go to hospital, get a drip.
For the moment, the Ukrainians have space, and it's relatively comfortable. But refugee camps have a tendency to become permanent and overcrowded.
How optimistic is Poland about the progress of the peace talks?
We are very pessimistic. We have always been pessimistic about Russia. Russia does not want peace. They don't want to sit down and talk. They want to win, and they are ready to inflict death. They are ready to inflict terror in order to achieve this goal.
If the minister's pessimism turns out to be justified, then these scenes at the central station are just a taste of worse things to come. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Malcolm Brabant in Warsaw.